So the longest I've done is 10 months. That's the longest I've done. And mostly, a day and between a day and a month. And that's over hundreds of tries in attempts. But that's to stop smoking, not to stop drinking. And every single time I let myself down. Every single time it was my fault. I put the smoke into my mouth. I put the cigarette into my mouth. And it's the same thing when I'm talking about alcohol. Now most of my attempts, all of my attempts to stop drinking were moderation attempts. So we're talking about, trying to stop during the week or trying to stop at the weekends, having a day off here, a day off there, blah, blah. Trying to cut back on the amounts that I was drinking while I was there. And, I get it when somebody says, well, one is not enough. And that's what you're fighting with when you're going onto this, onto the moderation trap. And this one is from Otibed358, and he says, I've done 30 days sober many times. Then I seem to forget how awful everything was. Month 2 is even more mental than month 1 in some ways. And I think moderation gives you a kind of a double whammy, because it's hard to moderate once you've got a habit of drinking alcohol. It's hard to moderate because all you want to do is drink the amounts that you want to drink, right? There's a level of tolerance that you get to within your body, and you want to drink up to that tolerance levels or close to it. You want to drink to your buzz. I mean, when you first start out, you can drink small amounts, and then gradually you can drink bigger and bigger and bigger amounts. And once you can drink those bigger amounts, it's very difficult to go back. I'm not sure if you could. The tolerance levels, even if you're off the alcohol for quite a while, will come back up very quickly once you stop. So it's why moderation doesn't work, in the sense of you're never getting to the buzz that you want to get. And that's the only reason that I can think of to drink alcohol. People bullshit you about the taste, but it's, people drink for the buzz. People drink for the buzz. So it's hard to moderate from that perspective. And then you drink, you go back to your normal drinking, and you're poisoning yourself, and your body is, the hangovers get worse, the alcohol poisoning over time takes its toll on you, and you feel bad. You feel bad in not only physically but mentally, and your wider role in life is suffering. So people are giving out to you, your work is suffering, everything is suffering, and so you get to a point of pain where you have to go back. So that's why it's tough. So that point of pain drives you across to stop drinking, and eventually to get to the stage where you're saying, I don't want to drink anymore. This is not good for me, so I'm not going to do it anymore. And once you get to that stage, after all the moderation cycles, then it's very difficult to go to the month 2, because once you get to, it takes about a month before the real benefits kick in, and before the pain that you had, that you made you decide to stop drinking alcohol in the first place, before that's gone. So the decision to stop is in reaction to the pain, and then you go through the not drinking alcohol for however long. This guy's gone for a month, and the amount of people that have heard of this exact same thing, so it's between a month and 2 months. And that's why we call it that month 2 mental trap, because once you get to that place, then you need to really start to look at your motivations, because you're at month 2, then you've got no pain that's motivating you to carry on, and reality is facing you that now you're facing into never having a drink again. But you've also got the voice talking in your ear, going, maybe 1 or 2 wouldn't be so bad after all. It wasn't that bad, It was only the few times that were bad. The hangovers weren't that bad. It's convincing you that maybe you can go back. You've controlled it now for 30 days. You've controlled it for 6 weeks. Surely you can go back now, and you can control it after 1 or 2. And, if you convince yourself of that, then it's easy to see that 1 drink or 2 drinks that you have, and you can then pat yourself on the back and go, see, I told you. But it's not going to be that long before you go back to your normal state, because that's what you've wanted to do. Think about all the attempts of moderation that you've had. So the thing that you have to do is to change the motivation. You've got to start moving away from motivation of pain that's pushing you from behind to get a motivation that is pulling you from in front. That, you know, you create a life that there's no more need to go back to alcohol, right? You think about all the times we've done a video there earlier today about the waking up every day without a hangover. And I've done that 13 years now. And I can't tell you how important that is, just as a starting point, a starting reference, to get up every day, to look forward to the day ahead because you have no hangover, you're feeling fresh, you're feeling full of energy, you're feeling clear-headed, and to move forwards, go to bed that night, look forward to the next day, and repeat that cycle over and over and over again. And every time you do that, as long as you're pushing yourself to achieve something, you achieve a little bit more. And then you are accumulating, instead of the damage, you're accumulating the gains, right, in your life. So think about that motivation, where you want to go in your life, and use that as something that is pulling you forwards. Think of your future. You know, if I could take you out to a year alcohol-free and show you just how good you will feel after a year without any hangovers, after a year with no toxins in your body, after a year of slowly improving your life day after day after day, then took you back to day one, there will be no fear. If I took you back to day 30, there'd be no chance that you'd have a drink, right? So think about it like that. Now, if you want some real talk, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? If you don't push yourself past that 30 days, who's going to do it? If you don't push yourself to find the motivation for yourself in your life, you know, look for something that you want to do in your life that is going to pull you forwards. Who else is going to do that for you? Nobody, right? You know, another point of real talk is that alcohol is a toxin. And think about all the damage that has been caused to your body, to your life, to your mentality up until this stage, because you've been putting this alcohol into your body over and over and over again. There is nothing normal about that. And think about where that is leading you. So if I took you out to a year, it's the hardest thing to do is to show somebody in their life what it is like after a year of them not drinking. It's the easiest thing to take you out to a year in your life and show you what it will be like in a year if you continue doing what you're doing, because all you have to do is multiply what you're doing, right? Continue on, a bit more damage, more time wasted, more money wasted, less energy, and a year older. So you've got less capacity to metabolize the alcohol, right? So you know this. You know all this stuff that the alcohol is going to keep damaging. That's why there's a fear there. It's a fear not only of the present, but of the future, because you can see that future. And anything else outside of that is a delusion. So like I said, nobody else is going to do this but you. Nobody else is going to find the motivation to do this but you. So stop deluding yourself and do whatever it takes to get things done. All right. If you want some help from me, in the link below, in the first comment, I think, just go to habitsv2.com and you'll see everything that we have there to offer. We've got videos that will take you through the whole process, get you to that first year alcohol free, and we've also got one-on-one calls and a whole lot of stuff there. So take a look, and I'll speak to you soon. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.